Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because, wow, we're looking at something that honestly shouldn't even exist. We rely on math, probability, and statistics to just make sense of our world, right? They're the bedrock of logic. But today, we're throwing that out the window. We're going to look at a statistical anomaly that completely shatters standard rules of probability. It's the kind of story that forces us to question the very fabric of chance itself.
Now, I want you to take a second and just imagine beating the most incredibly steep odds out there. Winning a massive lottery, for instance. It's the literal definition of a pipe dream for most of us. But now, imagine beating those exact same odds, not just once, but twice, in a single lifetime. So what are the odds of the impossible happening twice? I mean, it sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, right? But as we're about to see, this incredibly rare, almost mysterious event actually happened in reality.
Defying all astronomical odds, the baseline of luck. Okay, let's dive right into this. Because before we can truly appreciate the anomaly, we have to understand the baseline. What we're dealing with here is a mathematical abyss where normal rules completely vanish. Normally, in standard statistics, we talk about standard deviations, bell curves, predictable modeling. But the case study we're examining today, it drops us straight into that abyss. It defies all standard expectations. Honestly, it's the kind of data point that makes mathematicians literally throw their hands up in the air.
The 2013 first win, setting the stage.
Let's ground this narrative by going back to where it all started. Look at this timeline. We have this man's first incredible stroke of luck in 2013, and then a really crucial gap of years before the second draw. I really want to emphasize that middle chunk of time. Why? Because life went completely back to normal. The winner lived a regular life, went about his daily routine, seemingly having exhausted a lifetime's worth or, let's be real, a million lifetimes worth of luck. He was just a regular guy who happened to win the lottery once, until randomness struck again.
Let's look at the facts of that 2013 baseline. It was a dream realized. He beat those astronomically steep odds once, resulting in a completely life-changing stroke of luck. And from a purely factual standpoint, winning once is already the absolute peak of a normal person's luck. The math literally says this is the end of the story. You get your ticket, the universe aligns for one microscopic fraction of a second, and you win. Case closed.
Lightning strikes twice, the second win. But the case wasn't closed. As we reach this twisting point in our story, I want to slow down for a second, because this is where reality seemingly bends. Just let the sheer weight of that single digit sink in. Not two small scratch-offs, but two separate, massively impossible lottery wins for one single individual, separated by years. It's a number that simply does not belong in this context.
Years later, the exact same impossible event occurred. Imagine the sheer shock of that. You're watching the numbers roll in, numbers you picked, and you realize that you have, once again, defied every single odd in the book. The universe didn't just align once, it hit the exact same microscopic sequence for the exact same person. It's actually almost unsettling when you truly think about the math behind it.
The mathematical improbability, the expert analysis.
Of course, an event like this doesn't just happen without raising some serious eyebrows in the academic world. When the impossible happens twice, experts scramble to measure it. And to help our human brains even comprehend this, statisticians had to compare winning the lottery twice to being struck by lightning multiple times. Think about that visceral analogy for a second. Being struck by lightning once is already incredibly rare. Being struck multiple times? That's almost mythic. But that is the exact mathematical neighborhood we're residing in with this double lottery win.
So what do we actually mean when we say astronomical odds? Well, it describes a probability so minuscule it practically approaches zero. We aren't talking about a simple 1 in a million chance here. We're talking about odds with so many zeros attached to them that they effectively represent zero chance in the real world. Yet, against all reason, the dial moved from 0 to 1. Twice.
To summarize the expert testimony here, this event completely defies predictable modeling. It totally shatters standard probability. And as we just discussed, it's statistically equivalent to multiple lightning strikes hitting the exact same target. The experts aren't just presenting a dry math equation here. They're framing this statistical anomaly as a genuine cosmic mystery. The standard models simply broke.
Luck or something mysterious? The final verdict.
This brings us to the climax of our explainer today. We've looked at the timeline, the baseline, and the utterly broken math. Now we have to ask ourselves what this actually represents. Are we just looking at a stormy atmospheric anomaly, Or is there a deeper mystery at play? Notice the glowing, spectral question mark hovering right above the ticket in this scene, right alongside the dramatic lightning striking the Earth. This perfectly encapsulates that expert analogy of the lightning strikes, paired with the blinding mystery of the double win. It's a vivid representation of the abyss we've been talking about, a man standing on a rocky outcrop under a dark, stormy sky, holding the very ticket that defied the universe.
And that leaves us with the ultimate thought for this explainer. Was it pure luck? A mere random grouping of atoms and numbers? Or, as that glowing question mark suggests, is it something more mysterious? It's a question that makes us completely rethink the very nature of fate, coincidence, and the hidden rules of the universe. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the impossible. I highly encourage you to look at the numbers yourself, if you dare look into the abyss. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.